request. I was asked to record period 7 because I showed only period 8 recording, so you're live, so don't say anything.
What up?
Okay.
Hey,
Anyways. 6.7. This would be the start of our journey. Okay. If 6.6 was the prep, this would be the start. I want to take note that we'll be factoring trinomials, quadratic trinomials that look like that. X squared plus bx plus c. What do you notice is missing?
A.
Very good. There is no a. The a will come in 6.8. Okay? So first we need to be able to do problems like these before we march on to the next portion. The next thing, okay? No shortcuts. They exist. We will be using them, but the purpose is to understand how the shortcut works. We have to play with these problems when we don't know them yet. Okay? I know there's some family traditions. There might be a ancient Cerna method or a family practice of the law family, but I don't want you to do those things. Try to do it by simply looking at the problem that you have. All right. We already saw this stuff. Don't worry about it. Just pretty pictures.
Oh my gosh.
In your groups, I'm going to have you guys determine which one is the answer. And how do I know which one is the answer? Now be very careful in how you decide. One of the answers are true and the other two are not. The question is, how do you know that? And I want you to develop your own way to do that. Talk with your partners. Here we go. All right, Kazik, be nice and loud for me, okay? Why? Which one? First off, which one's the answer? Okay, circle it, please, or put a check mark by it because people are online. Okay, good, that one. Now, let us know why.
Well,
you and your group,
our group, we decided that.
including Nolan?
No, he was out.
Okay.
So, obviously, these are squared, which is over here, because they're multiplied by each other. And then the 12 comes from you multiply these two, and then you add them to get the 7x.
Do the rainbow thing. No.
X to the X.
I don't know what the rainbow thing is.
But, you know, the idea is.
X to the X. X to the 4.
X to the X, X to the 4.
I'm not going to do it. I don't know.
Okay, to satisfy our customers today, I believe they're saying this stuff.
No.
This?
Well, technically I'm doing it, all right?
No, you aren't. It's just the X.
Stand by. Go ahead. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of was doing it. Okay, it's the FOIL or double distribute. Okay, shh. Now, with that same strategy, okay, we're going to go on and to do the next one. You guys with me?
Wait,
So-
you use foil for these?
No.
So you
Oh, wait.
double-
It's important for you to understand this because on your homework, you will only be given this. And you have to get to this. Okay? So the question is, do you understand how these work when I have the full blown out answer? Now, write a few notes. I want those notes written. What Katie just pointed out you should focus on, you need to... Tazik. Or Katie Tazik. Kate Tazik, what she said, you want to make sure you focus on. Next, you are not allowed to use your partners in the beginning. Once you figure out the answer, then you guys can justify it. Let's spice it up. The bottom says, did your method work? It got cut off. Shh. Shh.
I actually got this one. Yeah. When you were out here, we put down a little. It's a little like we guessed. Yeah. So we don't know if that's right. So we're just figuring out.
Nikita, which one do you and Lizzie think is the right answer? Shh. Okay? So we... Mr. Sprague, cut it out. All right. She thinks the third one, which is actually correct. Now my question to you is, how do you know that?
Oil.
I did away with you multiply things in the parentheses and add them together.
Okay, so what you did is you multiply these together, right? Now what does that tell us when you multiply those two numbers? Good. I'm going to make it very clear right there. And if you guys break it down in your notes right there, that when you multiply the last two terms, that gets you the C variable, right? That's when you multiply. Correct? All right? Now, that has C down, so if I'm like doing a checklist, that counts for that. But guess what? All of them have 24. So what gives? Okay? Help her out. I know she knows the answer, but I'm going to try. Sharing is caring right now. Mr. Kim, because he's nice and quiet and waiting.
I added 3 and 8 to get the 11.
So then you're looking at adding over there, and that equates to the B. Interesting. So then we have that accounted for. But how do we know the first one's accounted for?
Oh, I know.
Mr. Antun?
Because you still have to multiply the two x's, which gets x squared.
Okay, so right now, if you're looking at this very clearly, how many things are you focused on? 3. My first question to you is, what's the first thing you focused on?
X.
The C or the B?
C.
C. Okay? The key is you focused on the C. Now, all of these, do they all multiply to 24?
Yes.
Okay, so we want to pay attention to that. Okay, let's try one more out. You guys are being a lot faster than I thought. Okay, this is kind of showing the work, but I'm not going to get to that. All right, a little bit different. Double check to see if it matches what you guys.
I don't got it.
Oh, actually, there's a mistake. My bad. Does it work? Did your shortcut work?
Yes.
Okay, York, walk me through this. First, second, or third? First, second, or third?
I got third, but then you added the plus, and I feel like
Yeah, because then it makes it different.
Mr. Lowe, I could do
I think
it.
they both.
Okay.
Wait, you should add pluses to like the.
What does that make it? Oh, like, that would make it. Wait, Mr. Lowe, I know that makes it.
No, that's
I know why it's there. I know why it's there.
Yeah, because you so now we do
Make
this.
the 17 positive.
What do you plus and then
Before you do it, it has to be 11.
Okay. 1 second. I love the energy. Okay. And and if I would be a hypocrite if I didn't say learning from your mistakes is a good thing. So, how did I mess up? I did mess up.
Add plus
Okay.
42.
Okay. You add 42.
No, you do the plus 42.
Okay. So, some of you guys are on the right track. Let's take a look. I'm going to see how I screwed this up. Okay. The reason why. The original problem was, it was plus 42. Whoops.
Yeah, I was right.
Drats. Okay. Now, let's take a look at what the book says. Okay? I'm going to make this very clear. This method that the book suggests can only take you so far. But we need to understand it without the shortcuts. According to the book, what do they focus on first? Is that the C? Good. So they basically said, hey, let's figure out what all the factors are. Now, how come the last one is checked? So, this is step 1 right here, and this is step 2 if you think about it, right? One focuses on the C, and then what? And there was a saying that we had last year. Start with the C, check with the B. Very good. Start with the C, then check with the B. Okay? We just haven't had the A introduced quite just yet. So far, so good?
Wait, what is?
Wait, so did I have it right with the third?
Yeah, assuming my problem was flawless, but not. Okay, so let's try this out. Now, it's interesting because you see the problem. It says factor that trinomial, assuming that b is greater than 0 and c is greater than 0, which means normally that there is something in math that suggests that if it's not greater than 0, you could get a different answer. So given the certain situations, you have to make sure the answers are all above 0. Okay?
Or else what happens if it's not?
Different possibilities,
Like,
answers and stuff. So real quickly, let's see if we can do this. Okay?
I know it's 3 X.
Let's Sheriff, come on up here. Bailey, you can figure out why I'm not calling you right now because you're constantly blurting out. Going on record. I understand, but sitting there yelling that you do doesn't help.
Okay, so I did.
You can write on it.
So first I did figure out what C was. So I thought about what can we multiply to get 15, and so I just went assuming the 3 and 5, but there's other so there's so 3, 5, 15, and then if you do the 3 plus 5, that equals 8, which would get the b. So you have the c and the b, and then if we divide this by, no, find the square root of that, that would just be x, so it would be x plus 3 and x plus.
Very good. All right. Maybe you should just teach. So, the book says this. Make a chart. List all your possibilities. Now, I'm going to make it a point to say this. You don't have to make a chart. If the chart helps you organize your thoughts, use the chart. However, some of you have mathematical kind of, I would say, instinct, right? Use your instincts to guide your thoughts. Start with the
C.
check with the B. Okay?
Start with the C, check with the B.
Okay? Again, the slides preceding this kind of show the work and the thought process if you'd like to read it. Miss Robbins, what's up?
Does it matter what order it's in, x plus 5 or x plus 3?
It does not. Okay? That's a good question. You catch what she said? Remember the community property? 2 times 3 is the same thing as?
3 times 2.
Okay. All right. Let's skip this one. Try it out.
$50.
Too late, already
No, we didn't.
6 and 4. No.
Like what I said. Try it out. Mr. Bladorn.
Okay, before I looked at the going to C and B, I recognize that there's a negative and a positive. So right off the bat, you know that it can't be two positives, so there's going to be some negatives involved. And so if you look at this and you do 8 plus 3, but it's negative 11x, so what you would have to do is, you know that you have to start with C, but it wouldn't match with B. So what I got was 8 and 3 would still work, but you'd have to make both of them a negative instead of a positive, because 2 negatives equal a positive, and then you could still get negative 11x, so it would be x minus 8x minus 3.
Very good. Okay, now before, I know you guys are, like, did anyone not get that is the better question. Okay. Elam, what's up? Which part?
No, I fixed my problem. I know I did.
Okay, cool. You sure? All right, moving on then. Hey, check. This is going to get progressively flavorful.
You keep on saying that through this entire unit. And it scares me.
Here we go. Individual and then group. Go ahead.
Alright, my name is Steve Wallace. And first I see Kid Bradley.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention to me.
It says on the left.
Please give to me the respect that he deserves.
Okay, first I see that there's x squared plus 2x minus 15.
Can you
And so,
talk a little like
and so I So I think, what does 15 divided by what can get to 2x? So I say, oh no, it's nothing positive. And so then I realized that I'm gonna just write down the easy stuff. So I put x right here, and right here I put another x. That's the x squared. That handles that. But then again, I think maybe you need a negative and a positive. So I say, okay, if it's -5 plus 3, that's -2. So the only other way is plus 5 minus 3.
All right. Hey, check. Okay. It's class full of energy. I do want to compliment Demi in saying I really like. I said I'm complimenting you. Okay. I want to compliment him saying that I like the idea that he knows the structure of it. He knows it's going to be x and x, and it becomes a fill in the blank exercise. Am I right? And then he even suggested that, hey, you know there has to be a positive negative. Now, here's my concern. What happens if you don't pick the right number combination? You get stuck.
You're in trouble.
So the question is not, can you get the answer? The better question is, when you don't get the answer, what do you do? Okay? And I heard Kate just say it right now. She said, you start all over, right? The key thing is, you have to make sure you stay organized. Okay? I am telling you, it's going to get harder, okay? Do you want me to humble you by giving you one that's harder?
Yes.
No.
Bad idea. I know, I will. Okay, so this one, it's the same kind of problem, okay? But this time around, they're just putting it into a word problem. Now they're talking about dimensions of a rectangle. So I gave you the area of the rectangle. I have to know what the other dimensions are. Is it pretty much the same thing? Yeah. Okay, go ahead and work on that. All right, this time I'm gonna make this quick. Laws. What's your thinking process? How'd you start? Please stop. Okay, so while you're talking right now, I didn't appreciate it. Okay, so work on it, please. Okay. Antun.
Here. Okay. So first I need to find something since it has to be equal. And
Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Sorry. So it had to be a -35. So you do. So it had to be like -7. Or my first thing, since 7 times 5 is 35. I did -7 and 5.
Now, why'd you do -7 instead of -5?
Because -7 plus 5 would equal -2.
Good, because you know that in the middle you have a -2, so then you want a result of -2 as when you add those two up. So the answer simply is
X minus 7, X plus 5.
oops.
That's a T.
All right, Princess Serna, here we go for you. Okay. Here we go. Happy? All right. We good? Guys, that's pretty much the lesson.